Just when you think you know who's loyal, who's cracking, who's next to testify, somebody ends up getting tied up, somebody else ends up getting gutted, and the whole club gets held up by 3 women that we've never seen before. It's chaos, it's unpredictable, and it's exactly why you can't look away. Let's get into it. All the Queen's Men is way past just being a show about a strip club. We've got power plays, courtroom drama, bodies dropping, and betrayals coming out of the woodworks. This week, the prosecution's case against Madam, it heats up, but so does the violence. Everybody's tired, everybody's triggered, and loyalty, it's a moving target. Smoke had to put trouble on ice, but not for long. He pulled up to the hotel room, he faked like he was housekeeping, and he was pretty much ready to silence her before she could testify. But here's the thing, as soon as he pulled the gun, witness protection popped out of the bathroom. He had to back off, proving that even a dedicated hitman knows when it's too hot, right? Smoke isn't dumb. He wasn't about to catch a federal case dealing with Madam, not on her behalf. Not yet anyway. Detective Davis showed D.A. Rods pictures of Casanova with the rat in his mouth, and Madam was acting all brand new like she didn't know what the hell was going on. And meanwhile, Smoke's body count keeps rising, and Babyface out here losing cartilage, getting cortisone shots, and he's just now coming to the realization that dancing forever is just a myth. I mean, like, how long do you actually think you're going to be able to do this? The doctor told him to chill out with all the dancing or he's going to risk permanent damage. But will he listen? Of course not. He's Babyface, right? You know, it's like I said before, he might as well just go ahead and get on OnlyFans. And to be honest, we know that he'll make bank, right? That's not the issue. There's a deeper layer to all of this, one that is basically forcing him to grow up. It's really just time for him to deal with his son Quincy and maybe some more real life issues. Doc ran into Naima while he was walking at the park. Y'all remember Naima? She straight up asked him if they were having any issues with any of the bartenders at the club because she believes that one of them slipped something in her drink. And Doc was like, no, I don't think so, knowing he was the one all along who spiked her drink. And Doc knows that he's already crossed too many lines, spiking drinks, catching bodies, just losing himself. Lola signed her own death warrant, y'all. She took the stand and she swore that Madam tied her up and that she found blood everywhere, and she accuses her of torture. But during the cross-examination, Madam's lawyer tore her story apart. There was no blood that was found, so they really don't have a case. And at this time, this is when Blue's PTSD started bubbling up. She quickly went out of that courtroom, and if you've been paying attention, we all know that Blue, she has this breaking point. Then Madam told Tommy to go after her. Now Quincy is still in full villain mode, right? He's still trying to get back at Babyface. He canceled his appointments at the barber. He's cracking jokes and he's just acting like he's running the joint, right? Like he's running everything. He's got the audacity. Now, after beating him up in the hallway, stealing his solo performance, and sleeping with his woman, Miss Tandy, Quincy is now living rent-free in Babyface's head. But the tension is brewing for sure. Babyface is quiet, and I don't think that he's really tearing into Quincy like he wants to. Madam bumped into Lola in the lobby, and she told her to relax, all smiles and fake empathy. Now the lawyer warned her to stop, don't talk to witnesses, but Madam assures him, we go way back. Oh, I knew her when her name was Shamika. We all know that Madam is lying. She didn't know that girl. But one thing she does know is that she's not going to make it to episode 12. So we found out that Blue went back to her therapist. And I don't know, for some reason in this session, the therapist was getting a little snappy. She had a little attitude. She was asking Blue, or Belinda, why was she there? And all of this stuff. And Blue was like, you know what? F this. I'm done. I ain't got to put up with this. And then she walked out. But later on, she came back. She returned and she made the therapist swear to confidentiality. Then she admitted to killing her girlfriend. Blue is done playing soldier, right? He's tired of covering for Madam, tired of all the crimes, tired of all the guilt. She's starting to look out for herself, which may be dangerous to the whole operation. Fuego and Big D are the worst gangsters in the world. Just this Tom and Jerry duo, I just can't. They finally caught up with Sandra's killers. They tie them up and they're holding them hostage in Fuego's apartment. Now, how smart is that? Then Big D, big bad ass, talking about he got to go to work. He said he couldn't hang around. He's got to go to work because he doesn't want to deal with Madam if he turns up late. Then he convinced Fuego to leave these clowns in his apartment while they both go to work. If this isn't the dumbest move in show history, I don't know what is. These two clowns just really left real killers in their house so they could go shake a tail feather. I can't. I have no words. Now, Kesha, my nose is bleeding. She's up next in court, and she's playing the victim after Madam broke her nose, right? She claims PTSD, sleep apnea, and some more stuff. But when asked if she pressed charges or sued Madam, she admitted that she did nothing. That's another win for Madam. Everybody wants to be a victim, but nobody has any proof. There is this unfixable bond that Amp tries to rebuild with his mom, Tony, and she can't stop judging him. She calls his dancing undignified. Then she offered him a quote-unquote real job to manage Maddie B's. Like, are you serious? Why can't you just be there for your son? And you know, at this point, Amp has to either accept her or let her go. You know, perfection isn't coming from this woman at all. So that's just something that he has to accept, unfortunately. We've got a guillotine in the courtroom. Mr. Tannenbaum. He took the stand and told the world that Madam hired him to make her a guillotine, like a custom one. And with this guillotine came a live demonstration with the rag doll from D.A. Rod's. Yeah, the prosecution is putting on a show, and honestly, they're reminding us of all the skeletons in Madam's closet, even the ones that we forgot about. And if this case was about Madam being a monster, she would have already been convicted for sure. So Babyface is at the club, and he's trying to check Quincy about the incident that happened at the barbershop. And Quincy, he's at this time letting us know what his strategy is. He wants to take everything away from Babyface so that he'll feel what he and his mom felt like when he was growing up all those years without his dad. Then Madam came over and she wanted to make sure that they were good. And Babyface said, yeah, we've come to an agreement. And I'm like, what? Like, this is so unlike Babyface, because Babyface give everybody the business. He don't care who you are. But for some reason, he's sparing his son. And I don't know why. Maybe he's scared he's gonna beat him up again. So Smoke stopped by to thank Madam for all the work and for putting him on, because he loves it. He loves killing people. He also let Madam know that he couldn't get to trouble because there were too many cops around. But he did say that he was ready to go after Lola. And Madam's only advice to him was to have fun with it. This guy is sick. Dime called Babyface out about how he's treating his own flesh and blood. And like I said, I mean, he's going off on Dime, but he didn't go off on Quincy. This is where it's just kind of weird. Almost respectful hesitation there, right? Like he knows that this beef is a little different. So during the dance from the VIP dancers, I don't know, just again, too many people on the stage all at once. Too much chaos, but I don't know, that's just how they've been doing it lately. But at the end of this scene, this is when Lola got snatched up by Smoke, and this is where karma is immediately in effect. And this next scene was a little surprising to me because Tommy wants to take Blue out by morning. Tommy doesn't trust Blue anymore, that's pretty clear. But Madam told him, listen, let me talk to her first. You know, she wants to kind of get a gauge on what Tommy is seeing, because he's ready. He's ready to take her out. So there's a little bit more locker room conversation between the guys. And sometimes Big D can just be so clueless to me. He was like, well, y'all think she used the guillotine? I'm sitting here like, yeah, dummy, she used the guillotine. Like, why else would she have it? But Babyface and Midnight warned everyone, listen, just remember to stick to the script. It's yes, no, or I don't recall, you know, when they get on the stand. Now, this is when the show took its darkest turn. Lola is begging for her life, and Smoke just gutted her like a fish. I mean, there's not really a whole lot to say about this. And then he took out her intestines and tasted the blood from the intestines. Okay? Ew, just totally sick. This is no longer drama, it's horror. It's a little horror film. It was just very graphic and very disturbing. So Renee came to the club and did exactly what everyone thought she was gonna do, which is blackmail Midnight. And he really wasn't falling for it. And I think he got upset. He got really upset, and then this is when Blue stepped out. And I kind of enjoyed this moment because no matter how down she's getting, you know, she's still protecting the dancers and looking out for the club, but then she's slipping up, you know, she's slipping up bad. She's making some really, really bad mistakes, because right after this is when the club got hit by 3 female robbers. They threw Blue into this trunk and they went in and robbed the club, told everybody to get down and put all their valuables inside the bags. And Madam was in her office trying to leave, but Tommy wouldn't let her leave. He was like, no, I got to protect you. You don't need to go in there. If you go in there, something bad is going to happen, yada, yada. So he didn't let her leave. leave. And that was pretty much it, good people. I enjoyed the episode. This episode was really dark, though, to me. Darker than what we've ever seen before. Madam's reign is hanging by a thread. People are tired of being pawns. The body counts keep rising. And for the first time, the real suspense has entered the building. The best part came at the end. So here's the question. Who can Madam really trust now? Because it looks like her inner circle is breaking down. Is Madam losing power? Is she about to lose everything? The club, the crew, her freedom? I really don't know about this one. So let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You know I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning in to Ruthless TV tonight, you guys. And I'm going to see you on the next one.